Thank you all for being here today. Whether you flew across oceans, above Bali's winding roads, or simply walked over from your villa at Zen Resort, your presence fills my heart. Now let me begin with my first and forever family. My children, Kashini from Mumbai, Ragini from London, Dipali from Dubai, and Jaydeep, who calls both London and Bali his home. Please stand up so we know who you are. And now, the future of everything I hold dear. My 6 grandchildren, Sayan, Luca, Amaris, Dylan, Arman, and Kahan. Please raise your hands so we can see. Look at them. Already plotting how to upgrade Zen Resort with drone deliveries and AI meditation coaches. All 4 of my children were educated in London, a cosmopolitan city that gave them not just degrees, but depth, resilience, and purpose. And look at them now. Kashini, a brilliant lawyer and director of Climate Action Platform, is shaping Africa's response to climate change and championing the financial empowerment of women, because when women thrive, communities thrive. Ragini, my second daughter, is a decade of human resources leadership in Dubai and Saudi Arabia, is helping both these countries to build the cities of tomorrow, because when women arise, communities thrive. Dipali, my third daughter, the youngest, is a lawyer, has spent 15 years in Dubai advising some of the world's wealthiest individuals. I like to think she gently reminds them that true wealth through kindness and maybe a donation for reforestation. So these are my 4 children. And Jaydeep, a doctor of philosophy, my philosopher, economist's son, founded Zen Maitri 5 years ago, a herbal medicine venture in London, and has been a devoted partner in evolving the Zen Resort of tomorrow. And to my grandchildren, I see you, and yes, I do imagine one day running Zen Maitri and Zen Resort. Just promise me you keep the mantra, singing massages, and the butterfly-friendly gardens. Now, can you see how proud I am? Well, let me be clear. The credit for all this success belongs not to me, but to my late wife, Arti, who left us 10 years ago in 2015. When I spent 40 years working with the United Nations, World Bank, International Science and Policy, and Sustainable Development around the world, it was Arti alone who raised our children with love, discipline, and unwavering belief in their potential. She was their first teacher, their constant guide, and my love. Today I honor her in every achievement of our family. And now, my second family, the extraordinary team at Zen Resort. Many of you have been here with us 15, 20 years. And remarkably, not a single one has left us unless they moved country or got another job. That's not just loyalty, that's love in action. to Ibu Budiani, our general manager for the past 15 years. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the most precious gift of life. For 2 decades, I have sat in an open-air nature office right beside my bedroom, watching life unfold at then, the guests, the birds, and the quiet miracles of daily grace. And during the stillness of the pandemic, 2019 to 23, she gave me freedom and allowed me to do something I dreamed. And that was the time I sat down and wrote down the story of my life, which is this book published in Amazon in 2023. And the last 4 months, I woke up one day because for 33 years, since 1992, I had a dream in 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit, Rio de Janeiro, the World Summit on Sustainable Development. And that dream, because 10,000 NGOs, 168 leaders of the world, kings, the Pope, etc., were in Rio discussing the agenda for the 21st century to position the world in sustainable development. Because if we don't do this, we don't have time. Maybe 30 years, maybe 50 years. One night in Rio, I had a dream that the animals of the world were meeting in the forest. And they were discussing what's going on in our world. Who's doing it? Why are they doing this? What does it mean for our future? We will not survive unless we stop one race, the human race, to stop destroying this world. That is, the human race is only one race. We, the species, are millions of races. And this resulted in my second book, which is The Harmony Between Humans and Animals, a path to save our planet. Because if we don't learn to live gently with our fellow creatures, we won't have a future to celebrate. And I'm glad to tell you that the book was completed yesterday. It now goes to the printers. Budiani and every member of Zen family, my deepest gratitude. You have let me dream, plan, tinker, all in the name of making Zen the most authentic, soulful wellness resort in the world. And now to my third family, the thousands of guests who have stayed with us 20 years, many of returned like old friends. You have made Zen more than a resort. You have made it a community. And my dear friends and colleagues across Ubud, Sanur, and all of Bali, thank you for your unwavering support. Now, enough of these formalities. Let me share a few Zen stories. Because what's a birthday without humor? Every day I visit the spa for a massage, not out of vanity, but because from 60 to 80, my joints need more convincing that my grandchildren need screen time. What makes Ayurveda unique? Before every session, 4 therapists chant a mantra, 3 behind, 1 in front, creating a surround sound, cocoon of peace. It is not just a massage. It is a spiritual reset. Thank you, spa team. You heal more than muscles. You heal souls. Then I love nature. I push nature everywhere. So of course, at Zen Resort Bali, I called the gardening team together. And the leader of the gardening team is Uzin. I said, Uzin, I have been to Koma Shambhala, I've been to Hanging Gardens, I've been to Brahma Resort, beautiful resorts, luxury resorts, beautiful grass, and around the grass, a beautiful hedge, the boundary of the grass. Always one color, green or red or brown. How beautiful that is. So I tell Uzin, do this in Zen Resort. And then I went to Europe for 1 month. I came back, and yes, the gardening team had worked and they did the hedge. But they didn't do the hedge I commanded. They did a hedge with a hodgepodge of every other plant. So it is not a hedge, it's a collection of nature. And so I called him and I said, why did you do this? And he said, sir, this hedge will attract birds, bees, and all kinds of insects. When you have one color hedge, it might attract 1 or 2 species. And in the world we need biodiversity. So this, and he was right. He's a man who works on heart. So everything you see in Zen is nature. And about my office is 3 minutes from the manager's building, 1.5 minutes from the kitchen, about a minute from the reception. So I sit in my room 101, which is the control room. I can see everything. And I can shout, and they have to come to me. So I call reception, come! And it takes them, because of my voice, it takes them 2 minutes. They wonder, shall I go or not? So I lose 2 minutes. Then she comes and tells me, yes, sir. And I say, I need this. She spends another 2 minutes to go to the kitchen or wherever. I lose 5 minutes. So what does they do? They go to the communications department, Komang and Omar. And Komang knows me, Sipat Sipat. So he goes and buys a telephone, wireless telephone. I said, wonderful. I use it for 3 days, it crackles, and I'm not happy. So I go to him and I said, return this. He said, sir, we cannot return because you've used it. I said, for 3 calls? He said, yes, but it's recorded in it. So I gave up. Next day we have a ceremony here in the temple. And in the ceremony, I sit there and I get a divine message. You don't need telephone to call anyone of your staff. And then I see the priest. I sit outside my office, I ring this. 10 seconds, someone is there. And then we don't lose time. So the ITT, thank you for your initiative, but I thank God because He intervened. It's my birthday, so please indulge me as I reflect on a few milestones. When I was 20 years old, I celebrated my birthday at the Cambridge University with young, idealistic and convinced I'd change the world for tea time. That was my mission. At age 40, I marked my birthday at the United Nations in New York as Director of the Famine Relief for Africa. Our team helped mobilize $4 billion to save the lives in the famine in Africa. We saved 1 million lives, but sadly, we lost 1 million. I was present when Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, and all the legends of pop world were in Los Angeles. I was there when they recorded We Are the World. That's a very famous song in the world. And today, and at age 60 in London, my children surprised me with 300 guests, including 65 who flew in secretly from Mexico, Ethiopia, Italy, Austria, and around the world. They took me to this venue where the birthday was. I didn't know. They had celebrated my birthday the night before at home. I said, it's finished. But on a Saturday night, they said, come to this speeches place. So I went there. It was cold, October 12th. Security would not allow us to enter. Then security was looking the other way, and my daughters and my son said, shh, let's go. Nobody's looking. And they opened the doors. It was dark. Then came flashing lights and music. They were holding me because for the first 5 minutes I saw ghosts. I saw 25 ghosts from 30 years ago who had been in my life from around the world, who had come to London to celebrate my birthday. Thank you. And today, my 80th birthday, I stand before you in the same suit. I know you were all looking at him. He was wearing something else 10 minutes ago at the cocktail party, and he now comes with a suit. It's hot. Yes, it is hot. But traditions are very important in life. When my 60th birthday, my 80th birthday, I am wearing this suit. I wore this suit when my 3 daughters were born for a week. So this sort has a story from around the world. And most important of all, don't try to copy me. I think 60% of the time, and I travel on aeroplanes. I used to travel once every week, then once every 3 months. 60% of the time, a hostess comes to me and I have economy ticket, and they say, sir, come with me. And I said, well, I don't know what the problem is. And said, we'd like to upgrade you to business class or first class. That's the power of this suit. Our vision for the next 20 years is to develop an international network of agroforestry plantations and holistic wellness resorts. We have 2 problems in the world: human health. Urban areas are polluted. People in urban areas are stressed. And we have rural areas where there is poverty, impact of climate change, degraded land. So we need to help human health. We cannot do it in a city because city has big hotels, 200 rooms. In the pandemic, they changed their name from a beauty spa to a wellness spa. But you cannot do wellness with 200 people. You need direct human contact. So we need to build a network of boutique wellness resort, holistic wellness resort, lifestyle resorts around the world in rural areas. But in rural areas, we have learned in developing country from developed country that we have green zones, green zones. You are not allowed to build on green zone. So my philosophy is to tell the government that we need to go to a farmer who has 4 acres. I will invest in 1 acre, I will build a resort. I will pay 30 years rent to the farmer. The farmer is old. And I will give him a profit share on this 1 acre. I will take another acre, grow food for my resort. I will leave 2 acres free for the farmer. And I ask that if the farmer is not going to do anything, I'm going to invite all my guests to plant a tree in this land. So we do forestry, we do agriculture, food production, we do wellness. But we cannot, because governments will not allow green zones. But that is the only way to give wealth, health to the people of the world. Urban, because they have to go in the rural area where the air is clean. Nature is lush. They have to go there. And the farmer, when he gets old, his children don't want to work in the farm. They run away to the city. So that breaks the family. And if the farmer is forced to sell his land, it kills him. Because that is inheritance from his grandparents. So if we want to solve the problem of rural development and urban development, we need agroforestry plantation in combination with boutique wellness lifestyle resorts. I invite all of you to go down the road from the end resort where you will see a 1.5 hectare site where we are doing an agroforestry plantation with moringa, sandalwood and gooseberry. These are miracle crops. So that is the way we have to do, and we plan to do this as a model for the Indonesian government and the government of the region and take it to the world. I feel wonderful today, not because I'm 80, but because I'm surrounded by love, fortified by 60 years of experience, filled with hope. My vision ahead is to develop partnerships for this network of resorts I described. So I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You see, when you get 80, I wouldn't have stopped like this, it would have come out and not waste time. But I have to. At 80, I'm allowed to be jalan-jalan. I hope that I'll be back here in 2045 at 100 years young, celebrating with many of you and more generations of dreamers, healers, and stewards of this beautiful earth, the only place in the universe that we know has life. We are going to space, but we haven't found any place with life. This is the only planet. Let's look after this only planet. Until then, let us live with kindness, laugh often, and never stop believing in harmony between humans, animals, and the planet we call home. And that needs a covenant of all beings to live in harmony as presented in my next book, The Awakening, Securing the Living Earth. This is going to the printers. Thank you very much. It wasn't so bad, was it? Thank you. Have a wonderful dinner, and there is much more to come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.